Hello, everyone. We are live with our webinar today. I'm your host, Santi Clark. I'm the Director of Content here at Duda. And we're going to be talking about how to turn your client websites into revenue-generating engines with low effort, but driving very big impact. So I'm very excited. Today is going to be a great session. We have some really incredible speakers with us today. We have Nachum Kligman, who is the CEO and founder of Book Like a Boss. And we also have with us Nat Rosasco, who is the founder and creative director of Olive Street Design. We're super excited to be here. I'm here calling in from our Colorado office. I would love to hear where everyone else is calling in from. We've got some people from Michigan, it looks like, let's see, where else? Austria, Miami, South Florida. Nat, where are you calling in from?
I'm right outside of Chicago.
Awesome. How's the weather?
It's 50 degrees and raining. Well, we'll take it. There's no snow on the ground. Yeah, very happy.
You're in Colorado too. And Nahum, you're calling in from where today?
I'm calling from Israel.
From Israel, we've got California, Wisconsin, Singapore. We've got a really global group here, so super exciting. We'll just get started with our session here. So Nahum, I'm going to hand it over to you. We've got a few, some really good content prepared for you, and then we'll also have some questions. So please put your comments and questions in the chat, and we'll address them as they come up. So Nahum, the floor is yours. Now let's get started.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you all for taking your time and joining. Thank you very much. Thank you everybody for taking your valuable time and joining us today for this webinar. Super excited because the way websites have been until now are now changing. It used to be you could have a nice, beautiful brochure website, but those times are changing. If you're a service provider, you need to be able to offer some sort of interactivity. It is the future of where websites are going. People don't have time to sit and go through, multiple page, 20-page websites and reading everything. They want to be able to find what they're looking for and take action. And that's really what Book Like a Boss does with Duda. But I'm going to walk through some beautiful slides so you can see it's not just about the interactions, but so we're saying that websites are no longer like brochures. You need to be able to offer immediate actions like bookings or event bookings or any other type of action that will take your customer to the next step, right? So in this presentation, we're going to talk about the shift towards interactive websites. We're going to show you some of the trends that we're seeing, and then we're going to give you a demo of what our booking app actually looks like on a Duda website. And then we're going to go through and talk a little bit about how Book Like a Boss's integration with the Duda platform is actually a very powerful solution. So some key points, right? And this I see for myself and probably those watching. Customers expect to be able to book online when they want to book, right? They don't want us to come to a website and say, "I'm sorry, we only take bookings from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m." Right after a lot of times people will come home from work, they'll come home from the busy day, they may be putting their kids to sleep, and then they come in and thinking about their next day or the next days, and then they want to book an appointment, whether it's for a hairstylist or for a massage or with their lawyer or with an accountant or dentist, whatever it is. They want to do it during their off times or on the weekends when the place not be open, right? We're going to talk a little bit about how interactive websites actually increases customer satisfaction and, of course, then revenue. 69% of customers prefer businesses with online bookings. That's a huge stat. And businesses see up to 30% more bookings with an online booking system. Today, I think people are using the phone less, they're using chat more, and they're using interactive aspects of their websites in order to be able to move, to take the next step with their with the companies they're visiting. Right, so some current trends, and this actually blends beautifully with Duda, right? We're seeing that progressive web apps for offline functionality is fantastic. That is, all Duda websites are able to offer an app-like experience, right? And this is something that customers we've seen have been really looking for, so that they can actually your customers or the end users can actually download an app and have an easy way to book with an app-like experience without actually having an actual app in App Store. And those are progressive web apps, and that's a huge Duda feature, which is amazing. Motion UI enhances user engagement, right? You see things popping in, popping out. That is something that also Duda offers with the beautiful website builder. Keep things moving, keep things look like something's happening, keep people engaged. Fast loading times, as we know, Duda actually has the fastest loading times of any other website builder, which is amazing. And that of course improves retention. Mobile compatibility, obviously, I don't have to tell anybody here. People are going from their phones, from their tablets to their desktops, right? Your website has to look beautiful and work beautifully from wherever your customer is visiting. And real-time interactions like live chat or instant confirmations are the expected use case. So we said before, 69% of businesses prefer to be able to book online. Now, this 59% will switch to competitor if booking is unavailable. And I'll just tell you how this works. Like, let's say you're looking for a new barber or accountant. Right, what are you going to do? You're going to go to your WhatsApp group, or you're going to go to Facebook and say, hey, anybody know a good accountant? Anybody know a good lawyer? Right? And you'll get 3 or 4 suggestions. So what happens when the first suggestion you go to, and you're not able to book? You know what you're going to do? You're going to go to the next one. And if they're not able to book, you can go to the next one. But if that person has the booking, you're going to book with the person that actually allows you to book with them, right? So people will skip over you if you don't give that booking experience their customers have come to expect. Obviously, 80% of travelers, they prefer online booking as opposed to calling up an agent, right? And of course, 24/7, as we talked about before, is critical, right? It's a global world, and people are, the 9 to 5 is not the norm anymore. People make their own hours. They're busy with their own things, and they want to be able to book when they want to book. And that could be early in the morning, could be late at night, could be on weekends, could be on holidays, right? So you need to be able to allow people to seal the deal with you, even if your hours, you're not open for your hours are, you're not during opening hours, I should say. Right? Business benefits, or business see up to 30% more bookings. You have automated reminders, reduce no-shows, and that can be email reminders, SMS reminders, extremely important. Reduces administrative tasks and errors. When everything is automated, there's less issues and problems. Right? Someone books you, it goes into their Google Calendar. They get the reminders, the confirmation emails. Everything is clear. There's less chances for error. And of course, this is customer loyalty and revenue. If you make it easy for people to book with you, they enjoy their experience, they're going to come book with you again. Market trends that we're seeing. Online booking growth. The global online booking market is projected to grow by 15% annually, and we're seeing that ourselves. Loyalty of online booking. Service businesses integrate with online booking. Obviously, you see a higher customer retention. Right? If, again, you give them a good experience, they're happy. You make it easy for them, they're gonna book you again. They're not gonna try going somewhere else if you allow them to book you and actually make it easy for them to do business with you. Right? You don't want to frustrate people today. People have a lot less patience. I think everybody's ADHD. I think that's become the norm. Right? People want to be able to move fast, and don't want to have to, and also make it obvious. You don't want to have to look around, make them look around, and try to find, hey, how do I close this deal? Once they're ready to close the deal, or they want to move forward, or they already know they want to book you, you want to make sure that they have that availability, and they can see that pretty quickly from the websites. And customer self-service preference. Customers are increasingly valuing self-service options over phone bookings, and that's true. People are less want to sit on the phone and wait 20 minutes for someone to pick up. They'd rather just do it and do everything from their phone. And we're even seeing this in supermarkets, right? Everybody has their online checkout now. I mean, offline checkout, direct checkout, right? You can check out your goods without ever speaking to somebody. So these are all marketing trends that we're seeing, both online and offline. Of course, for SEO and online visibility, right? Google prioritizes websites that actually have interactive features. I actually saw this in a Duda presentation, right? Like when you have bookings and other interactive capabilities that actually will raise you up in your SEO in Google. Online booking pages increase time spent on the site, which boosts SEO, right? Because if someone has to go in, pick the date, the time, fill out the form, they're spending more time with you. And structured data for booking can improve visibility and search results, right? If you see the obviously hierarchy of coming to a website, learning what it is, maybe watching a video, reading a testimonial, and then going to a booking, that actually can help in your website.
It looks like we're experiencing a
We
little
talked
bit.
about this about word of mouth referrals. That's also very important. The greatest. Hey, can everybody see me and hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, you sound good. Keep going.
Yeah. Okay, great. So saying that businesses offering online bookings see increased word of mouth referrals, and that's extremely important because if I want to tell a friend, hey, someone's looking for something, and I want to WhatsApp him or send an email, I want to give them a link where they can actually book, not that they have to, waste their time going through the website. So if you have a good experience, you give your customer a good experience, there's a more high of a chance that they're going to share that experience with their friends and family. Competitor analysis. Industry leaders offer online bookings as a standard feature, right? Anyone that takes their business seriously is going to have these interactive features. Businesses that fail to offer online bookings risk losing customers, as we mentioned before. And of course, you have a competitive advantage by giving your customers a superior experience. So honestly, I'm going to try to share my screen now, which should be fun.
You can do it.
And I just want to show you and let me know if you can see my website. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up. Here we go. Right, here's well, we had it. 1 second.
Oh, it's loading. It's coming.
Got it.
There we can
Hope
see
you all
that.
saw that. Here we go.
Yep, we can see it.
Great. So this is now I'm not a web designer like Nat. That's Nat's expertise, but Duda makes it very easy to build these beautiful websites. So as you see here, I think it took me about 10 minutes to build this website from one of their templates. So I just made a physical therapist. Oops. Seems to have disappeared a second.
We still see it here.
Can everybody see me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, it seems like that this interactive part is slowing down the website. I'll just show you real quick. Choose a date.
Okay, it appears we're having some technical difficulties, so we will switch gears here while we'll let Nachum's connection fix itself here. So we'll give him a second.
Oh.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, can you see?
Yep, we can see your screen again. Let's keep going.
Yeah. Can't hear you. Okay.
All right, I'm going to stop sharing and we'll go back to the present.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, this is unfortunately we have some technical difficulties.
Hi, everybody.
It's great to
Sorry
show.
about that. I think so anyway, check out. Well, hopefully, maybe we'll send out some this link so you can see it in action, or just try the app for free inside Duda. But it works beautifully and enables all sorts of bookings, whether it's online one-on-one coaching sessions where you're paying for, or you're booking appointments, or events, whether it's a webinar or an in-person event. Just trying to bring up these slides. Can we bring up the slides again? Can you bring up? Can my slides come back up?
While they're trying to bring those back up, we've used Book Like a Boss since I met Nachum a long time ago when it first got into the App Store, and we tried it, and he promised it would be great, and he didn't disappoint. We love it. There's a lot of different use cases that we just were looking for third-party applications, and there weren't any that were great, or if they were ridiculously expensive, and we just love it. So we've used it, and all the different cases he's been showing. Here we go.
Here we go.
So we're believers. Go ahead, Nachum.
Thank you, Nat. I'm gonna try to finish up quickly just so it doesn't happen again. But people can see me. You can see the screen.
Yep.
So basically, you can have services. You can have appointments. You can have events, one-day events, multiple-day events, classes, everything you need to take a booking. Challenges and solutions. Working with Duda, you actually have the best experience from the best developers. Data security, we integrate with different payment gateways like Stripe, Square, PayPal, Fiserv, and others. And so you're able to actually complete the bookings and take the money when people are booking with you. And of course, customer adaptation, provide clear instructions and training, and your users should be good to go. And of course, the Blab and Duda integration, right? Customizable booking widgets, right? Just take the widget, drop it into your site. And of course, you have the automated reminders, multiple time support, seamless, and enhances customer experience and efficiency. Conclusion, online bookings is a must-have for service business in 2025. Lab and Duda together, I like to say it's like chocolate and peanut butter, right? It's an incredible solution for increasing revenue and efficiency. And adopting these technologies ensure businesses meet customer expectations and stay competitive.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Nachum.
That's it. I hope.
Yep. Thank you so much. Booking is obviously one of the biggest, really untapped opportunities that we're seeing on websites, especially with our Duda platform and customers that are using it. But there are a lot of other opportunities in a lot of different ways that our customers and your clients can get more out of your websites beyond just booking. So I'm going to actually turn it over to Nat now, who's going to go into a little bit more depth on some of these opportunities and how you can take advantage of it as an agency.
Thanks,
so Nat,
Santi. I got it. Okay. Yeah. When Nachum went through the Book Like a Boss, it's great stuff. We love it. And a year and a half ago, I think, I was in Louisville with the Duda team, and I think one of your town hall things or whatever. And I was sitting there getting nervous about AI spun up websites and different things and what's going to happen to agencies. And I'm sure that's on everybody's mind here. And they had shared a deck that's showing that when agencies offer these add-ons, that they remain much stickier. And I think that really struck me. And Oded had said, you know what, you have to be a 360-degree marketing agency. And that got us thinking, and Duda kept adding apps to the App Store, which was great. And we've dedicated 2025 to doing the add-ons. We've got a lot of active accounts, over 1,000 that we have on Duda. I was like, all right, you know what, to sell that, it sucked the life out of me for the last 10 years. So to get another 1,000, it'd be easier to go back to people who already have and do some add-ons. And it's not just for us to make money, but it's for a better product. As Nachum, kept talking about, this is better for the client too. So I came up with a deck of the things that we're kind of focusing on that were the easy sells once we did a lot of work to get there. And so we're looking at, just as an idea, as an agency, for other than Duda and the hosting fees and the things that we're doing, which were really digitally focused, is outside of that, as I was trying to go for digital, because we do graphic design, which is about 40% of our work, but of the 60 that's digital, only about 7% was other than just hosting a Duda website with add-ons. And I focused on it for the first 2 months of this year, and I think we're going to get it up to 25% more, which is a big number upwards. So low effort, big impact. Let me see if I can figure out how to do this. Okay, there we go. A lot of agencies can build a nice website, but will they convert? And a lot of people that we talk to, so I've got 5 other agencies that I'm talking to, and I got a price. 3 were lower than yours, 2 were higher than yours. And we like to focus on conversion engines. Will they convert? And Dude has given us the tools to do that, but I'm going to show you a lot of other things that we add on to that, because we are conversion focused, because of all the trips we go. And we go to see Duda a lot, and they share things with us, and we talk and we brainstorm, and a lot of good things come out of that. Low effort tools. That's what this is about today. Once sold, the effort is low, quite low. Does that mean they're low effort up front? No. You got to do the work. You got to roll up your sleeves. And I'm going to show you what we did to get there. And it was a lot of things that we put together. We're launching everything right now. Now it's like my life is a breeze. We're just sending out emails, signing people up, getting things added. And it's going to flow forever. Hopefully live chat, book like a boss, things like that. Big impact. If you want a big impact, you need the right tools. What did we do? We put together a sales deck for every single a la carte app or widget that we sell. And they're very in-depth and I think very nice, but we did them, so I'm biased. After we put a sales deck together, let me show you one real quick, if I can do this properly. Local SEO, it's Uberall. So we put together, this was just what we did for the Uberall one. And I'm going to go through it quickly here. I don't want you to read it, but this is the extent of the depth we go to. Like Nachum's presentation, a lot of metrics, a lot of things in here. So this is the type of thing that we put together. That's just for one thing. That took me weeks to do. So we put a sales deck together. Then what do? We have a very gifted writer here, and her name is Lindsay Rosasco. And if you're wondering, that is my daughter, and she's a Huffington Post writer, and she crafts emails to go along with it. So now I've got a local SEO deck here. And I said, Lindsay, put together a great deck that's going to take all these things that I've said in there and tell them why they should spend $29 a month or $39 a month, whatever it is, because you're going to increase revenue. And for most of the apps that we're talking about today, if the client got one new client in a year, it's paid for it. One new client, you can guarantee them you're going to get more than one. 39, it's $400, $500 a year. If you're cutting hair, a client is more than $400 or $500. So we put together a very well put together email, and I send the emails out through MailChimp, but I also send them directly from my email. And I find people open both at different times. Then we'll create a landing page on our website for local SEO in Uberall and what it does. Next thing we do, and this is really important, and this is just our philosophy, but our philosophy is to sell a lot of something at the right price and don't overprice things. We sell things at prices that are a lot lower than a lot of other agencies, but we have no turnover. We have 1,000 clients. We lost 4 last year. So we want to remain sticky. And by remaining sticky, it's just never overprice something that's ridiculous. So we'll scrub the internet to see what people are selling local SEO at, and we'll go through it. But then we put it at the price that's right for our clients. Because if we can charge hosting and then do local SEO, and then those things add up, and nobody's upset thinking I paid more for something than I should have. Powerful messaging, and again, that we're talking about that, and doing the proper research. So that's how we get to where we're at. That's a lot of upfront work, but after that, it goes easier. Impact Book Like a Boss. I'm not going to go into that because Nachum's presentation was really, really good. But as I said, we've had a lot of success with this. And we really like to pinpoint clients where this makes the most sense for, and then send them, and instead of blast, and we do blast email these things out, and then we come up with a very targeted list, and I will email them one at a time. And there were about 45 for Book Like a Boss, and I sent them a personal email from Nat Rosasco. This is why you should do it. And it takes a lot longer, but our conversions are much higher. I'll convert 38 out of the 45. I did the research. I looked at what their competitors were doing. I showed them what this looked like and showed them the value. Next one, impact. Forms that due to paper forms. There's forms, surveys, payment forms, poll makers, order forms, landing page forms, subscription forms. There's a lot of them. It's really reasonable in Duda for this, and we make a lot of those. But again, we'll go back and pinpoint somebody. And conversely, if somebody's new, we like to look at all those things and know which ones we should be targeting in our sales pitch. And it's not at the beginning. Impact web chat. This is one of the highest impact ones that we've ever had. And we do this for $29 a month. And we did the research, lower client acquisition costs, increase your profit margin. These are for your client. Decrease your expenses, save 20 hours a week off your plate. That it was off of one of the chat websites. I don't know if that would happen, but it's lead capture. But we found something out too, and we found this out from the Duda team, is 20% of people only want to chat. So that's my big go-to with people, and say, if you got a form on there, great. You have a click to call on there, yep, you've ticked that box off. But if you don't have chat, those 20%, as Nachum was talking before, they're going to go to someone else that may have chat because they only want to chat. And we've got this on probably 200 clients' websites for years, and nobody's ever dropped it. And the amount of leads that they get is amazing. So this one's an easy one. It's low cost to you, low cost to the client, high value. This is what we sell it at, and this is how this is one of the slides from our slide deck. There's actually a video on here that shows the web chat in action. AJ, do they want AI chat or talk to a real person? Great question. The AI chat is sitting there to do two things: to get a phone number and to get an email, and to be a warm person answering you on the other side of it. And they're not really answering a lot of questions. If you go onto my website and fill out the chat, you can see what it does. They really carefully and gently guide you into getting your phone number. How can I help you? Web design. Oh yes, with Olive Street Design, we do web design. We'd love to help you. Do you have Book Like a Boss? Yes, we have that. Let's just have somebody get back to you very soon. And that's what it does. Through 15 years of doing this, the people that had the chat that was person manned, not one of them ever kept it because you can't be there. So it's kind of a disaster because you don't get it. And if you want to, while the chat is going on, you can actually get an SMS text and chime in on it right away. So it's kind of a hybrid. But I also know that in chat, there are some blockbuster things coming out that are going to take it to where it's like you're chatting with a real salesperson, and we're on the cutting edge of that with another company that we're very fond of, and what's coming is going to be amazing. So if you want to stay tuned, just email me. I'll keep you updated. There you go, AJ. Glad it made sense. I don't always. Impact, web accessibility to ADA compliance and litigation. This was from my July meeting at DUDA in Louisville, and AudioEye was there, and they gave a great presentation. And this one, and I'm gonna tell you a couple things here that go beyond this. We went in and we sold 200. How many do I have? 250 clients are signed up on AudioEye. Great revenue for us. That's the last thing about it. A website should have this on it, and if they don't, they're missing a big part of it. But now you're ignoring 25%, 23% of people are disabled. You're ignoring them, and that's just not good. And I have a disabled daughter, so this really hit home with me. But I'm going to give you the other key part of this. If you take one thing away today, this is going to be the most important thing I'm going to tell you as an agency. We had 750 clients that did not sign up for AudioEye, which is the best, one of the best. There's good ones. That's the one we use. That's the one due to it's really good. What can happen is, think about, you have a client that has a website, and lawsuits are going after small people. It used to be Harvard Domino's were sued and lost millions. They're going after little people because little people pay $5,000 and $10,000 in a heartbeat because they're not going to fight it, because 100% of people lose. This was a thing that hit me, and the AudioEye people told me this. You've got a client, they have a website's good, everything's great. They get this letter from a lawyer that their website is not compliant, and they're not going to be compliant. You can't make them compliant. Who do you think they're going to do? They're going to call first. They're going to call you and say, you're part of my lawsuit. You gave me something that should have been compliant. They're going to sue you. So now clients are suing agencies. So what did we do, being the smart guys, gals that we are? We put UserWay, and DUDA has a free widget on there, and we put a free widget on every website. And we told people, this doesn't give you the protection of AudioEye. It's a free widget, but it's better than having nothing. So there we covered ourselves. And we also, and this was key, we sent out a letter saying, I have opted out, and Olive Street Design told me I should have this paid version, and I am opting out of this. So we had them all sign an opt out for that. That's your little legal 101. And I'm telling you, if you don't put the UserWay on there and you get sued, you're going to think back to this and say, you know what, he told me to do it, and it was easy and it was free. And DUDA offers that to all their websites, which is bravo to them. So that's my little legal thing here.
We have a quick question in the chat here too before we get too far. What chat do you recommend? They couldn't see the name from what you presented in the last slide.
Well, DUDA has a couple. We use ZyraTalk, who I've actually found them through DUDA. DUDA's got a couple. We use ZyraTalk. The one that's coming out that's going to be earth-shattering, you can email me at nat@olive-street-design, and I'll let you know. It's under an NDA right now. That's the one you want to know about.
Excellent, thank you.
All right, Impact, Google Reviews, all-in-one review widgets. This is a common ninja. It's in the DUDA store, just added recently, I think. This has been the easiest sell of 2025 that I've had. I've talked to 75 clients for it. 75 people took it. It's a really easy sell. You increase credibility and trust. I mean, this is what's going on. Nachum was also talking about things that are going on. Credibility and trust are going on in Google reviews. Ads aren't working as much. People want to talk to other people. This gives you that credibility and trust really easily. Enhanced design with the Google widget, Google reviews to drive up sales quicker. The story is there. And this is key. And I'm going to tell you what we charge. It's $3. We charge $9. And a couple we charge $5. Because it was the right thing to do. We made a little money, and they're really happy. And I hope they never take it off their website ever. So we sell it at the right price. It's a fabulous piece of an app. We love it. Impact local SEO. Uberall is in the DUDA App Store. I did my research in the last 2 weeks on this, so I'm really up to date on this. And I've seen agencies on the low end at $149, and there were some agencies that are from another local SEO agency. They said they've got a client in Chicago that sold 7,000 local SEO packs at $299. And what do we sell it at? We sell it for 30. And this one is really good. This is a harder story for people to wrap their head around, but you show them these things, and we actually have a local SEO widget on our site that shows them their rankings, and usually they're at about 100% error rate on all these. Once they see that, they can understand, all right, I don't know what this does, but I think I need this. And what it does, it puts you on all these listings, and it gives you domain authority and backlinks, and it raises you up in the rankings on all of these. And we also just found out that on directory listings, if you don't do this, your website name could be 3 out of 100. When you do this, it's 50 out of 100. It's a really good thing. Hard to wrap your head around, do a lot of research. We just put up a new deck on this, and it's really good. SEO packages that generate leads and revenue. SEO it's hard. And it's not simple. We know how to do it. We don't like to do it. And we're not as good as agencies that do SEO. There's some great agencies in the country that do it. And this, I'm sorry, but I'm going to tell you, Hike SEO, they're out of the UK. And again, I was introduced from Itai at Duda. He just made the introduction. It's AI SEO, and there's not much you have to do. So it's not a lot of money. It does the heavy lifting, but the dashboards are incredible, but there's very little work we need to do on it. So we're now an SEO agency, but $169, $500 is cheap, $1,000 is cheap. To go out at $169, we've sold it to 40 people so far, and we might have to spend 15 minutes a month on it. So I'm really big on that, because there's little that we have to do.
Absolutely. We have a great question here too. Can a list of these apps be emailed to us after the call? And yes, we will be sending out a list of all of these tools and resources that we're talking about today to anyone who is registered for this webinar. So if you did that, you'll get that as well as the slides and the recordings.
Great.
And yes, so we've also got a question
here.
Will
I be willing to share the slide deck? If you send me $1 in small coins, I'll share. Yeah, if Santi has the list of everybody, I'd be happy to. Well, she has a copy of it. She can share it with everybody.
Yeah, we'll share it with anyone who's registered for this this webinar. So
yeah,
I'll get it.
Yeah, sharing is caring. I share within the Duda community. That's it. Nowhere else. Impact, privacy policy, terms of use. This is the Termageddon app in Duda. And this one is hard to wrap your head around as well, because it's legal stuff. But it's terms of use, it's privacy policy. Hans and Donata they were 2 towns away from me in Chicago, and they just came in to my office one day and said, I've got this thing. I said, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Donata was a lawyer for the state of Illinois to write these laws. So what they do is, we've had lawyers say, well, I have my own terms of use or privacy policies. I said, yeah, but you know what? Donata changes theirs every month or so and keeps it up to date with all the laws that are going on, which no one's going to keep track of. So I introduced Hans to Termageddon. Termageddon gets in the App Store. It's amazing. We love it. But what was really cool is I asked Hans, I said, I'm trying to sell it. It's hard. He and his wife wrote a 3-email cadence for me and sent it out for me. And I had 125 people sign up immediately. So I go back to the app company, Termageddon, and say, hey, reach out and say, hey, Nat told me to contact you. You'll help us. And as Hans just told me 2 days ago, if you contact them, an agency, you get a free license for your own site, which is pretty cool. $120, Sandra, is per year. It's like $10. It's $10 a month. So it's cheap, but it's great stuff. And you know what? Call them just to get your free license. So the reason I put all these things on my website so I can show people what they look like, and they're gracious enough to give you a free one, which is awesome. Google Maps, interactive maps. Again, this is a widget from a third party that we use. We love it, and they're just cool. The Google Maps they're really nice. They do things that are beyond what the maps are that we have access to. So that's been an easy sell at $9 a month. Image hotspot. I don't know if you know these things, but I didn't even know what it was when I first looked at the picture. But when you click the little plus sign, a pop-up comes up, and it could have a picture in there. It can have a description. It's really cool. And actually, we're just putting it on our site now. But when you put it on there, it's really cool. It nothing else other than it's just fun, and people look like your website's technologically advanced, like you're 2027. So this is important to know. Clients are paying for your expertise, because you know what? They can go to Squarespace and build a site that's going to not convert worth a hoot or not know anything and pay a stupid amount of money for an average software product. They're paying you for your expertise. You need to be the expert. They're counting on you. And how do we sell our add-ons? Is I sell the website, and I set the monthly. That's my monthly hosting fee, which includes Duda's dashboard, that able to edit, which is really cool. Then we create the website. Now this is important, and the cadence here. This is ours, and it works for us. Sell the website. I want a 10-page website, $3,500. Great. Our monthly is $69. Okay, I can afford that. We create the website in Duda, send them the preview link, and then they get excited. They're looking, they're going, all right, I love this. Finish the website. We finish the website. We get approval. Yeah, let's launch. I am so excited. And then at that point, the day we're ready to launch, you know what? Chat is great. The web compliance, we'll give you a free version, although we think the AudioEye one is here. Privacy you need, and then we talk about those other things. At that point, they don't shut down. When you try to sell at the beginning, I have found that it becomes overwhelming, and they feel like you're selling them a bill of goods. When I do it when we're ready to launch, they're like, yeah, okay, I'll take that, and that. I don't need that. Okay, good. That's our secret sauce. So, and I think that's it.
Excellent. This was super exciting. One of the things that I mentioned, or I noticed when you were talking, was not just that you're using these tools to drive new revenue and help your customers and your clients, but it's also helping you guys with retention. I mean, I think that I didn't want to gloss over that, but you guys had some pretty
That's the key.
retention stats from the last year. So do you want to talk a little bit more about that and how these things have helped you retain clients even more?
Yeah, and I know Justin Wells, like a year and a half ago, did a deck on this, on adding apps, and I actually have that if anyone wanted that, or you guys still have it. But they came up with these statistics. I was like, all right, yeah, that kind of makes sense. But I'll tell you, the more that you put in there, the people are just less likely to leave you. I've been approached by a lot of credit card companies that could you sell our credit card merchant services? I was like, yeah, that sounds great. I'll get 3% back on everything anybody books. Once someone's set up with a credit card merchant, everyone on this call knows this, you will not leave them. You can't. It's just too hard. They're embedded. I mean, people contact us all the time. I've got 1,000 credit cards stored, and they're not written down anywhere. I can't port them over to somebody. Once you do all this, the chat is embedded. It becomes overwhelming thinking, all right, I'm just going to stay with this company because they were priced right, because they worked. And if you just have a website, it's easy to pack up and go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's really, really awesome. So yeah, and the stat that you're referencing here is, for every app that people add to a Duda website, we see the retention go up. And there's a clear correlation between the two of those things. So,
absolutely.
Definitely a very important thing to think about, because as you're adding this functionality and you're adding these capabilities, it's becoming harder and harder for those people to churn and to find another solution that matches their needs. So super interesting and exciting opportunity, not just again for increasing the revenue that you're driving for, but also for improving your retention. The other question, and for anyone in the audience, if you have questions for either Nat or Nachum, please put them in the chat. I've got a couple more here that I'm going to go through. One of the things that stood out to me is I loved how you actually shared some of your pricing on these slides. Can you talk a little bit more about how you come up with the pricing for these additional add-ons? How do you know when to add something as, a value add without charging more for it? When do you decide how much to charge for it? Can you just talk a little bit about that process?
Yeah, and that's what I talked about there. There's a lot of research, and what I do is, you have ADA compliance in yours. I go to AudioEye and I ask them stuff. Termageddon, what are people charging for this? ZyraTalk, what are people charging? And then Santi, just it's trying to always be reasonable and never overcharge. And I'll try it first with like 5 to 10 people and just see what they say. It's kind of that simple. And if anything, I'll try to go a little higher, but on SEO with Hike SEO, saying you could be $2.99 to $3.99. I haven't had success with that because we're seen as a digital agency, not as an SEO agency. So I had to rethink who we were. So I've actually gotten rid of, because we have partners too that can do higher priced SEO. It's just not who I want to be, because then they get annoyed with it when it doesn't work. If they're saying, I spend $1,000 a month, I'm not happy with you. I try to have everything be really reasonable so they're never unhappy with it. So it's a price that people think are unreasonable. And mine is 10 years of trial and error. And mine, if anything, are very, very, very reasonable. But I don't want to sell 10 of something. I want to sell 500 of something.
Absolutely. Yeah, that makes so much sense. And this is actually a question for both of you. We've obviously walked through a lot of different options, a lot of different things that you can do on your website or on your client websites to provide some additional value, to get more revenue. What would you say is like the first place for someone to start if they're wanting to get into more of this interactive transactional websites? There's all these options available to us, but what would you say is like the single thing that would be, this is going to make them the most impact with the least amount of effort, just going back to the theme of our webinar today?
So I could jump on this. You guys could all see me and hear me now?
You look great.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. I switched to my phone, which is working a lot better. Yeah, listen, I'm a little biased, but almost every single business in the world today can use a calendar link. Because even if you're not selling a service, but people still want to book a time with you, get to know you, and with a booking widget, you're able to give people at least that 10 minutes that they want to set up a time that's convenient for them, and when you're available, to get that intro call going, right? So, obviously, there are other calendar apps out there, and hundreds of millions of people use them because it's the least you should do in order to get to give your customers what they need, to be interactive with you and to connect with you. And a lot of times it's inconvenient to call on the phone, as we spoke about before, and they want to book a time just to learn more about your business. So or even if you're having meetings with other people in your office, or you're having meetings with potential clients, or whatever it is, having a clean, beautiful booking page, I think, is a must for everyone. And I'm not going to mention any names of other clients out there, although there are some other ones out there. But if why you're promoting their brand, and Nat can help me here. I think one of the old marketing rules is never take somebody off your website. So why are you sending them to a page that's branded with somebody else when you could have your own beautiful branded web page with a very clean URL where people could come and book you? It makes no sense to send people somewhere else. So I think at the least, everybody should have at least a way for people to book them, and just to set even short meetings.
Absolutely, Nachum. It's exactly, never take them off your site. And we have, in terms of what we think are the must-haves, it's ADA chat and local SEO. Those are, you shouldn't even be in business if you don't have those.
100%. Totally agree with that.
AJ, I got your email already. Thank you.
Great. We have a couple audience questions here as well. So let's start with, we've got one from AJ. Do we know of any options for booking that isn't like a service booking, but more akin to an Airbnb type booking, if, for example, you have a single unit? Nat, do you want to, or Nachum,
No,
do you
that's
want to crack
something.
on? Yeah.
So I know that we're working on that now to be able to give 24-hour bookings, and that's something in our to-do list for 2025. But I believe Duda has another app in the App Store that may already allow that, some sort of overnight bookings. I'm not an expert in other apps, but I do believe I've come across that.
Yeah, we do have some additional apps in the App Store that may have these options. We can follow up on that separately. I have another question here. Any potential of integrating the chat with custom ChatGPT agent in the pipeline? Nat, I think that one's for you.
We have been messing around with this. And, I got to say, yes, and we're getting there. Yeah, we're working on this. If you go on olivestreetdesign.com, there's a little pop-up thing, Talk to OSD AI, and it's been driven through ChatGPT, and we're just messing with it right now. But we created a little icon-y guy and everything, so it's coming. That 3 to 6 months, that's going to be a thing.
Awesome, excellent. We also have a comment here in the chat. I need a quick loading booking widget. My current one loads slowly. Nachum, do you want to address that one?
Sure. So our booking widgets are optimized to load fast, especially on Duda, which obviously Duda pages load extremely fast as well. So that is something that we know that speed is important, and we made that a priority last year. So the widgets do load pretty fast.
Excellent. And I have one more question as we wrap things up. If there's any final questions, please put them in the chat. But I'd love to hear your one from each of you. Like, what's your one takeaway from this conversation? If someone were to, take this and like, what's the first thing that I can do, to get started with this? What would you say?
Is that for us?
That's for both of you. Yes. Yeah, both of you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just say that one takeaway is that we need to start thinking out of the box, thinking out of for the future. And a lot of your clients are so bogged down with their day-to-day business that they're relying on you to bring to them what is new. They're looking for you to propose to them, hey, this is important for you to have because this will increase your business. It's proven to increase your business. Don't wait for them to come and ask you. You offer it to them. And they'll thank you in the long run.
Yeah, exactly. And I think prepare, research, stay on top of these things. And Nachum gave a great presentation on Book Like a Boss. Create one of those for every single thing you want to sell. It might take 30 hours of design and research, but then after that, you just make 10, 20, 30 bucks a month, and that's it, and you do nothing.
Yeah, it's all about how you can scale. Do the work and then scale it from there. We have another question here in the chat. Is Book Like a Boss fully translated? Is it suitable for the EU and GDPR compliant?
So we are GDPR compliant. It is fully translated in, I believe, 6 languages, English, German, French, Spanish, Dutch, and Italian. That's both the admin and the front page, which works great with Duda, which also has those languages. And we just did a robust, we spent about 8 months rebuilding our whole admin from scratch pretty much in order to make things easier specifically for working with Duda. And so now if you need another language, we could probably get that done in just a few days. So if there's a specific language you want, let us know, and we could get it done for you. And it's also, we work in 23 currencies. And, right now, I'd say 70% of our clients are in North America. but we do have about 25% from Europe. And you have UK, Germany, Italy, Spain, and other countries.
Excellent. We've got a comment from Sandra too, which I think sums up a lot of what we have been talking about, is stay on top with research. There's a lot of, we've talked about this in terms of pricing, in terms of what types of things that you should be putting onto your client sites. Stay up to date, join our webinars to learn more about what other agencies are using to stay on top and remain competitive. So I think that wraps up our content for today. This was a fantastic conversation. I just want to say thank you again for everyone who asked these great questions, and to Nat and Nachum for sharing all of their great insights. As I mentioned, we will send all of the slides and information to everyone who registered after this session is over. So thank you so much.
Santi, you did a great job once again.
Excellent. And that's a wrap.